Yes, y'all. And I am your host, Charles Becco, y'all. I want to thank you guys for being here today. I'd like to thank everybody for checking us out. We've got a couple things to talk about. Just need to get the links over to the communities. Yes, y'all. It's the lightning round, y'all. Appreciate you guys being here. Okay. Make sure to get everybody all set up. All right. Cut the music. All right. Family, I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. And I'd like my fellow co-hosts to introduce themselves. We got Sabrina and Charlene. Why don't you ladies introduce yourself?
Good evening. Hello, Charles. Hello, Charlene. Good evening, everybody. What's going on? It's Monday. It's the beginning of the week. My name is Sabrina Persaud. I work for Merrill Lynch. I support various trading desks for the bank. I've been in investment banking now for about 10 years plus. I've been trading for probably about the past, heavily trading and managing my own portfolios for the past 5 years. I trade equities, crypto, and I buy and sell real estate. Over to you, Charlene.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, depending on where you are. I am Charlene. I am true believer, wife, mother, restaurateur, and newbie trader because I'm always learning something new. Welcome to the Day Trading Weekends Room. This is the buy, sell, or hold lightning round. This is where you give us your tickers. We pull up the chart live on YouTube, and you decide whether you want to buy, sell, or hold based on what you see. The link is right above our head, right under the room title. If you haven't updated your app, go ahead and send me the question on the back end. I'll send you the link. But the link is right above us. So you can watch along with everyone else. Again, you can send our tickers over to us, the mods, or you can type it in the comment section on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Over to you, Jess.
Thanks, Charlene. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jess Davis, and I am a trader and investor and a career strategist. And I am here to support with the lightning round as well. Thanks so much, Charles, Sabrina, Charlene, for holding this space. So guys, please make sure that you guys follow the club and make sure that you click the link to the YouTube to follow along this evening. Thank you so much. Over to you, Megan.
Good afternoon, family. I am Megan. I am a financial planner, business owner, and tax strategist, certified financial planner, and enrolled agent for the IRS. I'm excited to be here to help get those tickers to Charles to help break them down. Happy Monday, everybody.
All right. A packed stage here. Everybody, would like to thank you so much for being here. And I'm so glad that Clubhouse updated this app. And Charlene, thank you so much for dropping the link down to the YouTube. I have no idea how you did that, but I am eternally grateful. Let me know on the back end how that works. So team, no more copy and paste, no more tapping this and tapping that and figuring out how to get this in. All you got to do is tap the link at the top of our heads, okay? At the top of our heads, and you could be right in the YouTube and we could be looking at things, okay? So that's great. So again, because we have a packed stage here and true to the name, where do we go from here, right? I'm gonna give the moderators I'd say 45 seconds or a minute apiece to let us know where they believe the market goes from here. And I'd like each moderator to drop a ticker, one ticker that they like moving forward. The one rule is the moderators can't duplicate a ticker. And I know that's really hard to do, right? But you can't duplicate. You got to pick one ticket. Everybody's got to have a different ticker, okay? So, again, I'm your host, Charles Becco, live in Brooklyn Traders. And my ticker that I'm going to pick is CVS, right? Why do I like CVS? Very easily. We've got a daily squeeze on CVS fired. Boom. We've got a weekly squeeze that, well, almost fired, ready to go. You got a weekly MACD cross to the upside, all-time highs today. And you also have a monthly squeeze fired out. The fourth week in the monthly squeeze with all-time highs. My first price target was 92. My next is 95 and 100, right? So coming in the next couple days, weeks, and possibly months, I see CVS just going, right? I like CVS as well because for a lot of places in America, CVS is like the neighborhood bodega, right? Like, you know, this is Brooklyn. We could just go downstairs. We could go to the bodega and just grab whatever we need, right? But most of, like, America doesn't operate like that, right? The only things that are open, you know, after a few hours, right, is going to be CVS and Walmart. And sometimes Walmart is farther away. I've noticed, even when I'm traveling, CVSs are everywhere, right? There needs to be a pharmacy nearby so people can get their, you know, their prescription drugs and all that. Besides that, I like the fact that CVS is, they sell all types of goods. You can get makeup, hair stuff, food stuff, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry for taking greater than a minute. I broke my own dag-nabbit rule. So I'm going to have to find some way to punish myself. Sabrina, where do you see the market going from here, and what is your ticker that you like going forward?
I might drop two tickers if that's okay.
Hey.
So, as I mentioned in the Discord group this morning, I see that there is a movement, a significant movement back into growth stocks. So a lot of those technology stocks that we saw getting slammed are now moving to the upward direction. I also would like to draw everyone's attention to the climate change conference that's happening right now, which is going to impact a lot of those growth stocks. It's going to impact EV stocks, and by EV stocks, I don't mean just the cars. I mean all the other peripheral stocks such as Blink, ChargePoint, Plug, the metals that these guys need for the batteries, everything. And not just that, the solar powered stocks that are out there for solar energy, think about those too. So those are my two areas that I see significant opportunities coming up in the future. The growth sector, and by the growth sector, I mean like disruptive technology, and also stocks that will benefit from the outcomes of the climate change conference. So the two tickers I'm going to drop on you guys today, one is a crypto, it's Mana. I hope you guys have heard about it by now. It's Decentraland. So with the growth of all these virtual reality type of companies and plays that are going on, and now with Facebook changing its name, it's really pushed that virtual world into the forefront. It's been around for a while, but I think with Facebook changing its direction and becoming more of a company that's going to be developing in this area, it's pushed cryptos like Mana to the forefront. Over the weekend, Mana went as high as like, I think $4. If it pulls back to like, you know, $1 and change, or lower, you know, that's a good entry. The other stock that I'd like to also drop is, of course, I'm going to talk about my baby Lucid. Maybe next week I'll stop talking about Lucid, but Lucid delivered on their promise. They dropped the cars over the weekend on Saturday. Everyone went crazy. The cars are amazing. They're beautiful. And even the Wall Street Journal has written an article saying that Lucid can give Tesla a run for their money, and Lucid could be the next Tesla. I think I went over a minute. I'm sorry.
All right. Charlene, you're next.
Hi, everyone. So what am I looking at? Sabrina took a lot of good ones. I am watching, stalking Biden and the White House's Twitter for constant updates. If you guys don't know, I'm big on news, and how how it affects the market. I think we are very top heavy right now. So you guys know I like to load up on some hedge plays. But at the moment, what I'm really doing is just playing ENPH, ENPH, just because I like the TR. And, when you not memorize, but when you follow certain tickers and you play them constantly, you can do it up and down. So ENPH at the moment is all I'm worried about.
All right, so I got ENPH there. Jess, where do you see the market from here, and what is your favorite ticker moving forward?
Yes, so I agree with Sabrina, where I see the market moving towards more of a digital space, and sentiments moving in that direction. With this Meta announcement made by Facebook as part of their rebranding that has reignited the tech sector. And I think there's a lot of optimism for futuristic, future-related stocks, as well as like anything related to the metaverse. So my ticker for this evening is going to be Unity. They've been outpacing the market. They, in the last month, have grown 17%, and it's a company they make, it's a cross-platform company, and they make video games and 3D projects for games, plugins, consoles, and things like that. So I think with all of the AR and VR technology that is hitting the market, they are definitely a company to watch, because they are the ones that are making some of the software for these hardware devices.
All right, and Megan, what is it that you like?
All right, I'm going to be quicker on mine. While the market is making all-time highs, I am a little bit nervous about it. It looks like we have a long setup on the VIX, and we are all-time highs on the market. I wonder if we're covering on shorts, and the big melt up is the big melt down. So I'm just being cautiously optimistic. I'm not holding anything super long-term. Some of the tickers that I'm looking at are Dish, like Dish TV, and Cardinal Health, CAH, DISH. They are both in a long setup right now. And I think that as COVID gets worse, right now we just saw Ireland has a 90% vax rate and their highest hospitalization rate. So I think that as winter comes in the northern states and as COVID gets worse, we might see things like Cardinal Health and Dish go up because of those reasons. But they're also in a long setup right now, buying at discounted prices. So that's what I'm looking at, those two and many others.
So what's the ticker for Cardinal Health?
CAH.
Copy that. All right, Shanisha, what is the ticker that you like?
I'm surprised no one said Tesla, or I missed it, but I'm not going to say that because we already know it's obvious. But I'm going to say Ford is the ticker that I'm looking at, and just looking at the market, I think that, honestly, I think we're on pace. I said this, I'm optimistic about the end of the year, going into the first month of the year. Around February, I expect us to definitely pull back as trend we usually do around February, March. But I feel good about where we are. With there being new all-time highs, with everything, it is a little bit nerve-wracking, but I think that we're just in a different time, and the market is different. I just feel like we can't fully relate it to what it was, because never before have we had this many retail investors invested in, making money from where they are at. More black people are in the market, so I just think that it's a different time. So it's expected. I do feel like not enough people are taking the time to educate themselves, and so some people will get burned. But yeah, but Ford, the reason why I'm looking at Ford, it's just been moving as we see. I've always been into Ford. I think that one thing when I'm looking at investments is I like for people who invest with the minds of growth, and Ford has been trying. They've invested like $30 billion into the transformation into the EV space. That shows that they want to be with the new times, and I appreciate that. They also invested $500 million into Rivian, and we know Rivian's, I think, is supposed to drop IPO next week. And so just like looking at that, it makes me feel good at their potential. So I'm watching them closely. They're up after hours, so yeah.
So, so Ford is up almost 3% after hours. We had closed at $17.95, and we have a currently at $18.47. I wish I added some shares of Ford here. I was thinking about it. I chose to add some shares of Rig that is currently getting clapped down 7% instead. But, it's okay. It's all right. Another word on Tesla here, team. We definitely went long Ford over the weekend here, full disclosure. With options, but I wish I had some shares. It's just kind of crazy, just how insane of a move this is, right? So 2 weeks ago, again, we published our exact play on Tesla. Again, we've said it several times, calling 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, all price targets hit here on Tesla. I wish I still had some Tesla. I have fought the urge to jump back in because, again, with the RSI sitting at 94%, I just cannot break my rules in getting back in. Mr. Tony, you were here live on stage when, you heard it, and man, I just have to say this, team, those options, okay, that we paid $300 per on Tesla, okay, we had the November 19th $1,000 call. They were $300, all right? We take a look today, all right? Those same options that were $300 that we published via our private Discord here at Brooklyn Traders. This is November 19th, excuse me, not 17th. November 19th. Those $1,000 calls are currently $22,000. That is disgusting.
You lying.
We are not. Go in the chat. Search it. It's in there.
You know what? I'm just going to jump in and say something.
Go ahead, Megan.
People will spend $1,000 on an iPhone, $1,200 on the iPhone, $100 when you go to the bar. And here, Charles was throwing these out on Clubhouse for free in the Brooklyn Traders Discord. $300 turned to like $28,000 in a matter of no time. Man, be mindful of how you're spending your money and how you can invest that differently, and pay Charles the $40 to be a Brooklyn Trader because he made that back in spades on that one call.
Hey, listen, I appreciate the shout out, Megan. And Mr. Tony, we'll get to you, right? But again, if Shanisha brought it up, she brought up Tesla, and so I got to keep score, okay? Because guess what? You didn't even have to be a Brooklyn Trader to get that, okay? Now, you may not have picked that particular strike, right? You may not have picked that strike, but if you tuned into the lightning round within the last month, right? You heard it. $1,000 Tesla, $1,100 Tesla, $1,200 Tesla. You heard the call outs being made. I think I went like 3 weeks where all I had was Tesla and Netflix.
Day after day after day, you said it.
Every day, every lightning round. And again, no cap, right? Because I know that we're on Clubhouse, and I wouldn't do this. I would not do this. I'll actually pull up. Let me see if I can pull up the actual videos here. Let me see here. Your videos. Can I do that? Hold up. Okay. Right. Just every lightning round, like we just covered Tesla. Like, throughout all the videos, right? Tesla was basically like the very first thing that we were talking about. But anyway, don't need to, toot my own horn or whatever. It's not just me, it's also a team effort. Sabrina, Charlene, Megan, all part of the community here. They all throw out some bangers, and we really appreciate them each equally, right? And so, Mr. Tony, what is your play? Not your play, I should say. What company are you looking at going forward within the next couple of weeks or possibly months? Mr. Tony, the mic's on you.
No, Charles, you know better than that. I don't have any stocks. I hate them all and I love them all, right? I trade them. I don't love them. I don't dislike them. I don't love them. I just trade them. But the reason I was calling in today, or the reason I tapped in today, I just want to give you your flowers on that Tesla call, okay? Because I remember being in the room and having that conversation, and I said, we don't know it's going to go to 1,000. Remember I said that? So we don't know it.
I remember.
For sure. Remember that conversation? But I was just tapping in just to say, congratulations on that. It did hit 1,000, actually surpassed 1,000, and kudos to you.
I appreciate it. And team, again, right? You did not have to be a member of Brooklyn Traders to get that sauce. Here's the actual video that I've made a whole video about it. September 24th, Tesla to 1,000, right? In a full analysis. And since we published this video, every week Tesla was on top of the watch list for every single week, pretty much. Anyway, if you're not already following, please follow us at Brooklyn Traders. Please follow all the mods. We will be publishing a watch list at the end of the day. I did record everybody's picks, including Mr. Tony's, which is nothing because he's trading. He goes into the market totally in a Zen moment. Just whatever the market gives him is what he's taking, okay? So we've got that ticker as well, okay? Charlene, could you give us a quick reset before we get to the audience's tickers, please?
Got it. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, depending on where you are. If you are just joining the room, this is the Day Trading Region Club Lightning Round by Sell or Hold. This is where you give us your tickers. We pull up the charts live on YouTube, and you decide whether you want to buy, sell, or hold. We are here for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The link is above my head, right under the room title. And if you have not updated your app, you can go ahead and send me a message on the back end, and I will get the YouTube link over to you. Thank you for joining us again. Over to you, Charles.
Oh, man. I got to get my stuff together. All right, team. So I'd like to mention one of our sponsors here, Sabrina. You know, they've laced us up with some nice product. I personally really like this. I told you my story. It was up all night one night, and I needed to stay up for whatever reason. And I drank one of these. Didn't have any jitters. Didn't have any crashes. And one of the great things I like about the Sabrina brand is it's sustainably sourced. You know, they're working with the people of Rwanda, and it's a great story, great product. It tastes amazing. It tastes way better than the energy drinks I was drinking before. So drink Sabrina, y'all. All right, that is that. On to the tickers. All right, so I see my man Ryan Mack. He wants us to take a look at OCGN. Let's take a look. Whoo! All right. Nice little move here. I'm going to let y'all know for sure. I'm definitely not interested in a move that does this, including Tesla. Even though I love Tesla, if I'm not holding it, I'm not getting in. Yeah, nice parabolic move. The next level on this is above 16 and then above 18, right? So let's see if we can get there. RSI is pretty hot. I can't say it's bearish divergence over a 6 or 7 month period, but it is pretty hot. It is pretty hot here, and so for me, I would personally wait for a pullback, preferably to, man, look at where the 8 is, right? This is totally in space. We've seen a lot of things do this, right? And it's kind of hard to tell. Like when things start going parabolic, it starts going to the moon, makes a Superman vertical move. It's kind of hard to say, hey, what's this or that, because technicals kind of go out the window. So what I've seen, right, is if we could kind of hold up here, at least hold above the low of this candle, which is 1235, I would say that's more bullish than bearish. And the minute we lose that candle, which is sitting at 1235, then that would look more bearish on OCGN. Okay, so Ryan, hopefully you're making some money there. My man Chike, what's up, Chike, from the Margins Room? Okay, we do have a free we have a free Telegram group. Okay, you can message us if you want to be involved with that. The margins group. VUZI just had an insane move today. Man, I wish I was still playing VUZI. I played it just a long time ago. As you can see, I had some Fibonacci levels over here. Just an incredible move with VUZI, and based on this chart, I don't think we're done here. I could put a price target on VUZI. Let's set a price target. $16 and $17 in VUZI. That's what I'm looking at. Okay. I actually don't know much about the company fundamentally, right? But I do know that this chart has been suppressed for a very long time, all the way down from 32 to 14, right? So loss greater than 60% of its value. I do see that this thing squeezed, and we had two squeezes fired today, both the mid compression and low compression squeeze. And yeah, I'm looking for VUZI to have some kind of continuation. I do see that it's coming down a little bit after hours, but you know, that happens, you know. So I would look to see some continuation in VUZI, right? Typically when things move up, you know, 10, 20, 30%, we close pretty close to the highs. You could expect some volatility the next day, both to the long and the short side on VUZI. Next up on the list is STT. State Street. Okay, what I like about State Street here, and again, you know, I guess somebody mentioned this before. We don't trade this ticker, but I see that I put some levels here. What I would like to see on State Street here, right, to prove that this is a breakout and not a fake out. I'd like actually State Street to come all the way down to about 89 or 90 and retest that level, and then bounce like a basketball, right? That's what you typically want to do, right? On any breakout, right? And you've seen. We talk about market phases, right? And so I'm just dropping a hint. Doing a show, not a show, we're doing a class with the pre-market movers in the next, I believe, Jess, what is it, next 2 or 3 weeks, Jess?
Yes, it will be on November 14th.
Thank you, Jess. Yeah, so Jess and myself and the rest of the pre-market movers, we are doing a group class in basically the next week, 2 weeks, and 2 weeks. And I'm actually going to cover the market phases in that class, right? And if you've taken a market phase class with me before, don't worry. We'll be coming out with some more material there, right? And so, yeah, what we're going to be covering, you know, different phases of the market. This is clearly in a phase 1 market phase. With the breakout above 88, we're clearly in a phase 2 market phase. And yeah, in order to complete this phase, I'm looking for us to get a pullback to 89 on STT. All right. Next ticker up on the list here. Okay, I believe I seen AFRM. Let's look at AFRM here. Oof. Let me see here. So there is some bearish divergence on the firm. We do have a MACD cross to the downside. Bearish divergence, MACD cross to the downside. Let me look at one more chart to confirm. And oh, we were we were still in the short setup. Wow. And it really tried really hard to break out of it too, but yeah, we were still in a short setup here on a firm. And so the next level here will be the 21, and I'm looking for this thing to pull back, possibly to the 21. We haven't touched the 21 in a while, right? So to me, we go down and touch that 21. That, in my opinion, looks like a dip buying opportunity to get into some longs, right? I'm not saying that you should do that. That's not financial advice, okay? But yeah, expect some buyers to step in on that 21 SMA touch the first time. And so, Sabrina, could you give us a reset, and could you, you know, you like to whip people up to the YouTube. You know, they really do listen to you. We already got a couple people on here already, okay, in the YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on Facebook as well. But Sabrina, could you give us a reset, please?
Sure. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the lightning round where you give us your tickers. Charles pulls up the chart, and he tells you what he sees in the chart. I know there's a bunch of you in the room that are listening, and I don't see you guys in the YouTube. So if you want to see what Charles is looking at, jump on the YouTube. It'll be really beneficial for you to see the actual charts that he's looking at. You can see the candles. You can see the support and resistance levels. So jump on the YouTube, guys, and take a look. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the lightning round. Please follow the room. Please follow the YouTube channel and all other platforms. And don't forget to follow your mods. Thank you. Back to you, Charles.
All right. Again, thank you so very much. We are back. We are back. All right. Okay. I think we're okay for tickers now. We've got. Hold on. Give me a second. We've got SOFI. SOFI made a nice move today. And, okay. Give me 1 second. We got SOFI. We got Visa. We have X. We've got Plug. And we've got BABA. Actually, let me cover BABA first because I see that it was sooner. To make sure that we're on the same chart.
Hey, Charles, can I just say something real quick?
Sure. Not. Go ahead.
So, guys, I see some of you jumping into the YouTube. I think we're full for tickers for tonight, but please hold on to your tickers and come join us on Wednesday, and we'll take a look at them then. For those of you that joined the YouTube a little late, this is one of the reasons why you got to join earlier, because the ticker list does fill up quickly, both via the paper airplane type thing and via the chat. Thank you. Back to you, Charles.
All right. I am looking at the YouTube. I see a couple people in there. I see Caesar. What's up, Caesar? I see you out there. Again, thanks everybody for joining the YouTube. And team, please follow the YouTube as well. Follow us on there and click the bell icon. You know, they always say that in YouTube videos. So click the bell icon so that you know when we're going live. The official schedule is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Our Friday schedule, we start a little bit sooner. I'm looking to see if we could actually switch to 4 o'clock on Friday, because I know it's tough. People want to go home and everything like that. And as the holidays come, it's getting darker and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's just keep that schedule in mind, okay? It's going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, typically at 6 p.m., but on Friday, we're going to start a little bit sooner, all right? So that's that. So what's going on with BABA here, right? BABA is very strange. It's very strange. I see a buy setup on the daily time frame, and then I see a sell setup on the hourly time frame. Very bizarre. It's kind of tough. I did see some option flow go into BABA today. Okay, I'm almost tempted to pull it up, but just maybe after the next reset, I'll pull it up. But I did see some option flow, some bullish option flow going to BABA, and for me, I always err to the longer term time frame. So for me, I see a trampoline setup here on BABA on the daily time frame, and I'm looking for a retest of 177 and 180. Right. Let's see how we do there. Here's what's great about BABA as well is we also have a weekly setup on BABA. Okay, we have a weekly MACD cross on BABA. The MACD looks like it wants to maybe go negative. It's kind of a mixed bag, right? I'm getting bearish and bullish signals across different time frames. Like again, trampoline setup here. If you're looking at the tickers, MACD cross to the downside here, MACD cross to the upside here. Inverse trampoline setup up there. It's just a mess, right? I personally want to see BABA back at 178. I did see some bullish option flow go into BABA today, and so I want to go with what feels right. I guess if I had to put a tiebreaker, I think I want to side with the bullish option flow, right, to be the tiebreaker between these mixed up indicators, right? And I would say, hey, I'm looking for BABA to bounce off these levels. I'm looking for BABA to stay above its 50. I'm looking for BABA to stay above its 21 here. And I'm looking for BABA to retest 178 and 180, okay? Not an easy chart to break down, but again, we've got the weekly time frame here. We've got some other stuff. We got bullish option flow. So, yeah, I'm I'm more bullish, Baba, than I am bearish, right? Next up on this list is X. What's going on with X today? X is in a bearish setup today. Okay, here's the high candle, fat engulfing candle here. So with that being said, I'm looking for us just to potentially close this gap here, right? At 25 or 24.50. Okay, on X, I don't know what's going on with this ticker. Like, for me, as soon as we kind of get up to these valuations, X has just been having some trouble, right? And so I really want to get a solid break above 28.8, and then I'll feel really comfortable, jumping into some X, right? But until we do that, it's not high on my conviction list because it's still trading in this channel here, all right? Let me just kind of put this up there. Right? Duplicate that. Yeah, so there it is. There's your trading channel, right? So this is like, you can say this is like a phase 1 market phase here, right? Okay, so that is X. X gonna give it to you. RIP to DMX, y'all. All right, next ticker on the list. I've got so many monitors, I'm looking everywhere. Next ticker, I see Plug here, SOFI and Visa. Plug, and Plug is getting up there. Plug is getting up there. Of course, Plug is bullish. I mean, we're just off the charts here. Here's what's crazy about Plug. We've got a weekly momentum set up here, and I have not seen that in a while on anything, right? This weekly momentum setup play out. I mean, we got the weekly MACD cross, weekly momentum. Shoot, we could get right back up to 60 and 70 on Plug. Okay. Let me see if there's some squeezes on here. Is there a weekly squeeze on Plug fired already? Is the question. Oh! So we do got a weekly squeeze fired on Plug. Okay. Price target on Plug. $50, 58 and 60. 50, 58 and 60 price target on Plug. One of the moderators write that down, put it in the chat. Okay, price target on Plug here, 50, 58 and 60. Okay, and I feel if we could get to 60, right, we could be in contention for all-time highs. This is a beautiful chart on Plug. It actually looks kind of like Tesla. It looks like Tesla before, Tesla went insane, right? Tesla went full bore Super Saiyan and went hog wild. And so I'm not saying Plug will go hog wild, but this chart looks like it wants to get back to all-time highs on Plug here. All right, that's what we see here on Plug. I don't know who put that out there, but that was a nice little addition there. Sabrina, I don't know if that was for you or anybody else, but that was a nice little addition on Plug right there, Sabrina. Whoever gave you that, or if that was yours, that's great. Okay, SOFI. In the kitchen, wrist twisting like it's SOFI. Yeah, I'd like SOFI. Still haven't added any shares. Still haven't done anything with this, right? Nice ticker here. I like the weekly cup and handle setup. There's not too much information here with any of my tools or algorithms, right? But nice little setup here, okay? I would like for SOFI to cool down just a bit here. For me, if SOFI could do me a favor and come back to 2050, then I'll back the truck up on SOFI here, right? So let SOFI come down to 2050, right? So I can back the truck up with some shares and possibly some options, right? So I'm gonna set some alerts right there. This is how you know I'm really serious about what I'm doing, right? Is when I come out here and you see me setting some alerts, that's when you know it's really real, okay? All right, so that is SOFI. I like that one. And then we got V for Visa. Because somebody also checked that I got everything from the YouTube. Don't want to miss anybody from the YouTube. I do see Apple from a man Suzuki, so only because of Suzuki I'll throw that in there. Okay, so I've got Visa and then I've got Apple.
Charles, I don't know if you want to, but someone had sent me, I couldn't get my Bluetooth to work, so I couldn't get it sooner, but someone sent me something called Zen, Z-E-N, and Amazon, so I'm not sure if you want to do it still, but just throwing it out there.
Sure. I mean, we got time. We're not terribly behind on tickets, right? So we're okay. So I see Zen is Zendesk, and Amazon is Amazon, right? So we've got Apple. All right. The last ticker's here. You know what, Megan, can you give us a reset, and then we'll get to the last tickers.
I absolutely can. Welcome to the Day Trading Regions. This is the lightning round, buy, sell, or hold, with Charles Becco and a bunch of your mods. We are breaking down the tickers live on YouTube. We are full on tickers tonight, but you can hit us back up on Wednesday if you want to show us your ticker. So we've got a couple left. If you click the pinned link ahead, you can see Charles breaking down those charts live. Back to you.
Oh, wow, that was like real quick. Almost caught me with my pants down. Hey, team, just for anybody who doesn't know, this is our website, brooklyntraders.net. I'm getting lots of messages on the back end, right? So this is it, brooklyntraders.net. In case you, ladies and gentlemen, want to join or figure us out, yada, yada, yada. Okay, that's us right there.
I'll pin it when we're rounding out.
Okay. Thank you, y'all. All right, so that's that. All right, back to the tickers here. Make sure we're live. Okay, we're good. So Visa. Man, I don't know what's up with these payment processes, right? You got Visa. And, you know, I'm actually going to throw one on there. I'm going to do PayPal. And after this, there's definitely no more. So let me just go over the current list. I guess y'all found out we shutting this down, so y'all just do some more in there, okay? This is it. This is the list. We've got Apple, Visa, Zendesk, Amazon. We actually did VUZI and STT already, and Square. And I'm doing PayPal. I'm throwing PayPal in there because if we're going to talk about Visa, we might as well talk about PayPal as well. And the reason why Visa reminds me of PayPal is because I'm seeing trouble on the longer term chart, right? This weekly chart on Visa looks like hell. Okay? Even if Visa were to bounce to 220 or 230, I would look for the shorts to come in there and really cause some havoc, right? So here on Visa, right, on the daily time frame, right, there's actually a bullish and a bearish setup here. The bullish setup goes like this, right? What you're gonna do is you're gonna wait for Visa to get above the low bar here, 213.68. You get that without making another low bar, and then you could play a retest, or not a retest, an oversold bounce. You could play an oversold bounce back up here to 218, 219. Again, team, I'm talking strictly technicals. Don't email me or inbox me about no fundamentals. I'm not talking about that. We're talking straight technicals, straight up oversold bounce. This is an oversold bounce play, right? Let me look at the RSI here. We find a chart with RSI. I got so many charts. Got so many charts going. So yeah, the RSI really isn't that terrible here. So we could easily just continue lower, right? I'm letting you know that there is danger, imminent danger on this long-term chart. Look for a possible test, okay, in the next few weeks of 200 and possibly under. Okay, I would not be surprised if Visa wants to come down to this weekly 200, which is currently sitting at 180. Again, you've been warned, right? So again, on the shorter term time frame, I can see a situation where you can get an oversold bounce, we get a close above here, and then we get up there to the SMAs, right? Simple moving averages, 223, 225-ish, right? And then we could easily come right back down, all right? So look for an oversold bounce and look for the shorts to come in and short that oversold bounce on Visa. Again, the reason why I'm mentioning PayPal, right? Because PayPal chart looks kind of the same, okay? This looks eerily the same, right? The weekly short setup here. Let me see how cold the RSI is on. Yeah, the RSI here on. Hopefully, I'm not giving anybody any eye problems, right? I know it's a lot of screens, lots of colors, right? But if you go to nightclubs, you should be all right. Okay. RSI is sitting at 25 here, right? And I do see some slight bullish divergence there. So it is pretty cold. So we should be due for an oversold bounce at some point in time. Right now, you got to get it closed above 233.47 before you could think about that, right? On the shorter term time frame for an oversold bounce on PayPal, once you get above that, I would target 240, possibly even 250, but don't just be sitting in them things, right? Because them shorts are going to come back in and they're going to short this thing even lower, right? So PayPal as well, it's another thing I'm looking for. I don't know, 220. I don't even know where this wants to be at, because you got a weekly short set up here that looks fresh. 225 should be it, and to me, if you fall on the 225, you're going to 200, in my opinion, right? And what's crazy, this is all happening on days when the market is at and testing all-time highs, right? So what's going to happen to Visa and PayPal on the day that the market is getting clapped, right? That's what you got to think. What is going to happen to Visa and PayPal once the market is getting clapped? Got to be careful out there, okay? There's an issue with market breadth here in the market as well, where pretty much the market is being dragged by the FANG stocks, right? And I call them the FANG MT, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Microsoft, and Tesla. These are the things that are kind of keeping the market together, because I'm like, what was it that they said today? I think they said only 60% of stocks are above their 50, right? 50 simple moving average, right? And so that's not really great numbers for something with the market at all-time highs, right? That means a lot of tickers out there are actually not doing well. And think about PayPal, right? PayPal is a larger QQQ constituent, and Visa is a big constituent in lots of indices as well, right? And these guys are like at and testing their 200, so that's kind of crazy. Mr. Tony, you still here? I know that you get busy on the back end.
Hey, what's up, Charles?
Mr. Tony, do you have a word here on market breadth in terms of what you see here in the market? Like, kind of the disparity between the FANG stocks and then everything else. Any words or any thoughts on that?
Well, I saw that the 10-year was up again today, which is, again, good for the banks typically, and not so good for big tech. But you know what? That trend is kind of wavering, which is kind of, throwing the old traditional ways of looking at, how the market is moving in terms of the direction of how the market is moving. So kind of hard to plan it right now, but I do feel like they're just, when I say they, I mean the Fed, they're just going to continue this thing as long as they can continue it. And, these new highs that we keep seeing, I mean, they can't be substantiated. They just don't, the numbers aren't there to substantiate them. It's just the fact that they're just continuing to print this money. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to ride with it. I don't really pick a side. I'm really kind of useless to you, Charles, when it comes to that. But in terms of the sentiment, I mean, if I had to, I'd stay with the flow of the market, because you're probably gonna be okay, But when it does turn, I do think it's going to turn. It's not going to drop 10,000 points in one day. Obviously, that's not going to occur. But I do feel that at some point it has to end. I just can't give you a day or a time. But for right now, I would just stay with the flow of the market. That's my little 2 cents.
All right. So, Mr. Tony, again, thank you so much for that. I appreciate the contribution.
No problem. And again, congratulations on that Tesla call, man. That was awesome.
No problem. And it's not really for me. Like, it's not like an ego thing. It's mostly for the community. I want to serve the community. I want to make sure that people are getting the information. People are knowing what's going on with their investments, right? And we're all here trying to do a little bit better for ourselves and fight against inflation. Yesterday during our live class with Brooklyn Traders, we talked about a Bible verse that went something like, those who love pleasure will never be rich, and that verse was about being able to kind of withhold and keep back, from entertaining yourself too much and spending too much of your money on things that really won't necessarily serve you in the long term, right? And so me personally, I'm concerned with long-term inflation. I'm concerned with whether Social Security will even be here in the next 15, 20, 30, 40 years for when many of us will be at retirement age. It wasn't too very long ago that what was that guy's name? Paul Ryan. I think it was Paul Ryan. They were talking about getting rid of entitlements, right? They're talking about taking different services that we take for granted away from people, right? And so for me, I say the least that you could rely on the government, the least that you could rely on other people for your financial security and your safety, right? The better. And so our philosophy here is to help put the power back into your hands, and you do that by being able to just do better for yourself, And so I appreciate that, Mr. Tony.
Well, I would totally agree with that, Charles. Inflation is just going to be a booger. I mean, it's going to be the tax. I know the president says he's not going to tax people below $400,000, but the truth of the matter is you're already being taxed. Every time you go to the gas pump, you're being taxed. When you go get groceries, you're being taxed, and it's an immediate tax. So you have no choice. You can't put your money. I tell the story all the time. My grandfather used to buy, CDs, certificates of deposits. He would go to the bank and he'd get 7-8%. And even though he had a pension, that would be, part of the way that he would supplement his income as well. Well, that's not possible anymore. They forced you into the market. You have no choice. You've got to go into the market. You can't go into the bank. It's funny. I'm in the parking lot of the bank right now. My wife's inside. But you can't leave your money in there. You've got to generate revenue. You've got to generate income right now, and then you've got to convert that cash immediately into some type of a cash-generating asset, whether it be real estate or whatever it is, business, go out and buy a Jiffy Lube or something, but you can't hold on to cash itself because it's like an ice cube in your fingers. It's just melting. So you've got to convert the money because inflation is just going to run rampant and it's going to destroy those who can't keep pace with it.
I really, again, Mr. Tony, I really appreciate the sentiments, and of course I share them. All right, let me just go back to the rest of the tickers here. So, was looking at Apple here. Apple is kind of in a no man's land, I would say. We found our way kind of back into the channel that we kind of broke down. It's like a roller coaster. But here's something that's concerning, right? We're losing momentum on the weekly time frame. While the MACD is still under, it's fixing itself on the weekly time frame as well. I do see a longer term short setup on the daily time frame, right? But I don't necessarily know if it's going to play out. Warren Buffett says, don't bet against America, right? Don't bet against the market. And so, you're trying to short the market too prematurely, and especially something like Apple, and you get your head chopped off. And so, I would say, I would rather just, Apple looks more like a hold or a wait and see. You don't want to get your head chopped off going long or short this thing. We need some more information, right? We did get a major pullback off of earnings, and then Apple hit the 21 SMA, bounced back, and right now we're just chopping around. So I would expect Apple to be a little bit choppy before it decides what it wants to do. Again, I see a bear case here, and again, as long as the market is the market, right, there's always a bull case, especially with one of the most widely held tickers in the world. Unfortunately, I don't have any clear guidance right now based on what I see in the charts, but as soon as I do, I'll be sure to update you folks on that. Okay. And the last, oh no, I forgot 3 tickers. How did I forget 3 tickers? So we got Zendesk. Okay. This thing got clapped too, right? And so you, with Zendesk, right, you do have an oversold bounce set up, and you almost got it today, but not quite. You want to close above 103.60 there to get that oversold bounce. We're pretty close to the weekly 200 there, right? So I wouldn't expect Zendesk to go much lower than here. You've seen the one time that we touched the 200 way back in March. We bounced like a basketball, and here we are again. We didn't even touch it. We went down to 92, 91. I call that a faux touch, right? And we kind of got a little bit of a bounce, right? So I'm looking for an oversold bounce on Zendesk. I mean, it already kind of started the day before. I guess this was Friday when the earnings came out. But don't expect this thing to just kind of go back to all-time highs, right? Even if you get a little bit of a bounce, even if you close this gap, expect some trouble here, because this weekly chart looks like hell, okay? And you do run the risk of breaking this weekly 200. It just because you get an oversold bounce, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll go back to 116 or 120, where these EMAs are, right? You could kind of just come back up to 105 or 110, and then the shorts can come back in and force you back down. So definitely in the danger zone here, especially with the 200. Oh goodness, yeah, I'm just even noticing more stuff. So back in August, you had a death cross, right? You had the 50 cross under the 200. Look at where this thing bounced, right? So, we bounced from the lows here all the way up to the 200, and we came right down, and oh man, it's even worse than I thought. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is like a textbook short. For somebody that's looking and watching this daily time frame, this would have been, you didn't even need earnings, right? This death cross here set up was a foreshadowing of what earnings was going to be from a technical standpoint. And I'm just kind of laughing because for somebody that's like a bear or short oriented, this would have been free lunch for him or her. Okay, got to make sure. Him, her, or they. I don't know what y'all got out there. Whatever y'all are. Okay. This would have been free lunch for that bear there. I'd be very careful with Zendesk here. We'll be very careful. This does not look good. If you're going to play this at all to the long side, I would just be scalping for those oversold bounces. But expect those bear flags to be printing on this thing. Okay. Again, that's just my overall theory. It doesn't have to happen that way. That's my thoughts on Zendesk. Next, we have Amazon. And then last but not least, my favorite, Square. What do we see on Amazon, right? Amazon was down as much as 2% today. The team, is it scary to nobody that Amazon is down here at its 200? Amazon, right? You're talking about 8% of the Qs below its 200, right? And I'm sorry for kind of smacking the table there, but literally, you've got a short setup on the weekly time frame. The weekly looks like hell. The daily looks like hell. The hourly looks like hell. There's nothing about Amazon here. And it's 8% of the Qs, right? And so, this is my grand theory, right? When Tesla chills out, in my opinion, that's going to cause some noise in the market, okay? As a matter of fact, when Tesla looked like it was, because, Tesla was, 8%. Good team. This is how little I don't even look at it, because if I look at it, I want to play it, right? So this morning, right, 9:50, 10 o'clock, Tesla was up barely 1% this morning, right? Amazing move on it, right? But I'm pretty sure, again, this thing looked like a short in the morning. It looked like you wanted short. As a matter of fact, you see these levels that I set up here? I actually set up some levels down here this morning, right? Because I didn't know what this thing was going to do. Came down, made a higher low, what's that? Okay, hold on. So we made a higher low into a triple bottom, right? Which is actually very rare. A triple bottom is a very rare indicator here, and I do see it on the 1 minute time frame. And yeah, let me see on the 5 minute. Is that on the 1 minute? That looks like a triple bottom, but yeah, just a crazy move on Tesla. So for me, all they did here was squeeze the shorts. They squeezed some shorts who thought they were going to short this thing today on Tesla, right? You had this pop up here to 1150, came all the way down, all the way up. It's just and then again broke support here, came down again, all the way up. They're just squeezing shorts at this point, right? These are algorithms just popping people left and right? So it's just dangerous both ways. And so for me, it's just so hard. Me personally, I would stay away from both sides. Again, it's hard not to look at these games, right? But I feel that when Tesla wants to chill out, right, I think that's going to cause a real crack in the market, right? Because you see Microsoft today. Microsoft is down like almost 1%. Okay, and for me, if Microsoft wants to come down here, right? If Microsoft wants to come back to 310 or 320, which it will, right? I would look at that as a buying opportunity, actually, especially if we can come down to 310 or 300, right? Let's say a meteorite passes really close to Earth and people get really scared, right? If Microsoft can come back to 300, I would look at that as a big buying opportunity here on Microsoft. So, team, I'm still looking for a nice pullback, a nice big pullback before the holidays to back the truck up on some of these names, right? But it hasn't happened yet. I'm not forcing it at all, okay? I know that we're talking about these other things, but it's kind of hard to look at Amazon and not look at the other constituents, right? To see what everybody's happening. So most of the QQQ big guys were down today. I think only Facebook and Tesla. I think Nvidia was up. Facebook was up here. Full disclosure, we are along Facebook here. Nvidia, let me see how Nvidia finished. Nvidia finished up 1%. Okay, Nvidia was hit the lows as well. Nvidia has a similar move to Tesla, and just a nasty chart, right? Just down, high, low, just a bunch of craziness there. But yeah, as soon as Tesla chills out, I think the market will go with it. My theory. Last ticker for the night is gonna be Square. Okay, and what's going on with Square, right? So this is one of our price targets that actually didn't hit. We had a 300 price target on Square that we set way back here in August. I thought we were going to get there. Square had different plans. We came down, went under the daily 200, and now we're sitting above the daily 50 here. I don't know. Square is still in this channel, right? It's in the middle of the channel, so I'm not really sure what it wants to do. The thing that's concerning with Square, right, is that we're losing momentum here on a weekly time frame, which is very concerning. I'm thinking maybe the thing that could turn this thing around is earnings, right? When have we really had truly great earnings here? I guess you had this day where it actually last time, right, when it went from 246 to 276, right? So maybe we just want earnings again, right? I don't know. The chart, again, to me, this is just a big, long accumulation phase here, phase one on Square. And to me, there's not going to be a party on Square until we break above 277 and 288 on the weekly time frame. We do that, and we can see an NVIDIA Tesla type move from Square. Again, I'm going to maintain my 300 price target. I think the reason why we haven't seen it is because a big guy is probably, acquiring shares and, shorting, and just they're doing things to manipulate this thing so that it could be in this trading channel so they can stealthily get some shares. But they're not fooling me. Not at all. Okay? So that's it, y'all. Does any one of the moderators have anything to add or contribute before we wrap up this show? Don't all speak at once now.
Okay, I'll say something.
Okay, so
all right, guys. Just remember, everything you've heard tonight is not financial advice. Please be careful when you're trading. Understand your strategy. Understand what your goals are. Be sure to do your due diligence. We've gone over a bunch of technical stuff today. Charles has read the charts for us, but there's other factors that can also make your stocks go, up or down, sideways, left, right.
And that's why it's important for all of us to do our due diligence. Don't just take our word for it. Please do your own homework and trade safely. Thank you, Megan.
Sorry, I got a screaming baby. I was just going to tell everybody, make sure you go to brooklyntraders.net. Charlene pinged that at the top, so if you pull to refresh, you will see that. Check out Brooklyn Traders. Have a I echo what the ladies are saying. Sorry, I had to run to my phone, Charles. Have a good evening, guys, and I'll see you guys again on Wednesday.
All right, Shanisha, any word? I think she may be a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Shanisha.
Yeah. So don't overtrade. Let the trades come to you. Like, really study. Don't feel the need to jump on everything or jump at every opportunity. Just kind of like test your theory, give it, and respect the levels that the charts give you. Don't just come here listening, and it's okay to take action every once in a while. That's what we're here for, and don't be scared, right? You can't be with some God and have fear. So let's win.
Thank you so much, Shanisha. And Mr. Tony, any last words to the crowd before we tap out of here? He may be busy. I know that he said he was running around. And so, folks, I want to thank everybody for being here. Want to give God thanks for giving us insight, guidance, and wisdom that we use to affect trades in the market. Without him, I wouldn't be able to do anything, and I definitely want to acknowledge my Lord Jesus Christ and thank him openly, very much so, because, again, without the Lord, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. When I was a kid, when I was younger, they always said I was bright, but I didn't always think so myself. And I remember, especially when I went to college, right, I prayed and asked God for three things. I said, Lord, teach me to be kind, teach me to be wise, and teach me to have understanding. I prayed for those three things: kindness, wisdom, and understanding. And he was definitely able to give me all three in abundance. And so I want to thank the Lord for that. Now I want the Lord to bless me with something else that I definitely don't got. Patience, self-control, and more calm. That'll be good for me. Patience, self-control.
31.
Yeah. So, team, again, thank you so very much. I want to say God bless everybody, and we'll see you Wednesday.
Follow the room. Follow your mods.
Yup. Thanks, everybody. God bless everybody. All right. Appreciate it, everybody. Have a good day, y'all. Take care.